where do we even begin? There's so many fun stories. I mean, does anybody here know how to make toast? I mean, that's one of my favorite.
Really?
These guys were concerned that I'm going to put the house on fire or something. So that's when they came running, trying to figure out what is happening here. We see smoke coming out.
On the sets of Brown, how difficult did it get for you to keep going inside and out the subject? Because it seems a very intense subject, a very controversial issue. It's not as easy as we look at it from the immigrant's story only, as an immigrant trying to find his space in a country where racism is quite known for decades, and it's how we look at things. So how difficult was it to find yourself in and out of that subject? If I start with Damon only, because you're talking about those fun elements. So how was it for you to prepare around the subject? To write, you have been writing the script as well with Amit. So how was it?
I think for me, coming from a white Midwestern background, I feel like I have a different perspective on racism, and I feel like the discussions that Amit and I were able to have really it probably informed some of his decisions, but also informed many of mine. I have been trying for a while to understand my own position on this discussion, and I think writing the script really helped me to see and to communicate it better, I think is probably a good way to put it. And there are a few times that we butted heads about how far to take this, because we are walking a pretty fine line and trying to communicate something, but also not make it so cardboard cutout that it's black and white, because that's an easy place to go, but it's harder to really have a nuanced conversation about this. So I think in writing, both of us talking back and forth, I think that we did find some of that balance. And also, I mean, Amit's style is much more, I guess, I don't know what the word is, but more aggressive in addressing these things. And I'm trying to sometimes bring him back, like, no, hold on, let's let's go a little bit less on this. So I think together we worked well and kind of hashing that out. But I mean, yeah, I come from the Midwest, where I grew up, with race being a part of the world that I live in, but it was not like, for me, it wasn't what I personally have experienced in the South, where there's such a big divide between the two. So I feel like it's definitely, and to be honest, growing up, I didn't have much interaction with, brown people, so to speak. It's mostly just black and white. I don't remember actually even knowing any Indians or even Asians or anything like that whenever I was a kid, so, but yeah.
Amit, coming to you about this, about Brown.
Just one thing on that. I keep telling Damon on race, I'm like, Damon, you're a white man. What do you know? So just, look at it from, look at
he made sure that the title is again very racist. He made sure that, Damon, you're not part of the owning the title anymore because you are not brown, is what he tried to say.
No,
but Amit, how would you define brown? Are you just limiting it to the color? Are you limiting it to the aspect that you've brought out with immigrants? And what is the intention of bringing out this difference starkly, just to bring the subject of how someone who is not an American fits into the script, or it is the skin color per se that you're trying to hit out with this concept?
I don't think the film in itself, first of all, just about racism, right? It thematically deals with several other layers of us being humans, right? Uh, Betrayal, abandonment, home, uh, love, you know,
Belong.
belonging, where, and being sort of out of place. Either they'll have to do it themselves, or they have to have a very strong producing, marketing kind of a partner with them who believes in this themselves and can focus on that aspect of it. But I think the Guerilla team of filmmaking would need to have uh, one such person, equally an important filmmaker for that film, who makes sure that the audience receives it. And the possibility is there today. I mean, that's great that today that possibility exists. It didn't
Because of
exist.
the technology and everything, it is quite there. So,
Yeah.
as Damon said in the beginning, Amit, you can't leave your toast burnt. You need to be up there, alert. A filmmaker immersed in their work is not enough. You might have to come out and bake your toast, because Damon kind of people might not be
So,
always around to.
like I said, well, I would need somebody like
You would
Damon.
need some. So it's a
Yeah,
great
it's just like,
combination.
yeah, it's complicated. And look, and let's be fair and frank about this.
As we go to closing it, I would like to have this last word or message from you, because you've made such beautiful concept story and a movie that might actually move the perception of people, if not more, to leave that impact. What is that you would like to tell the audience? Uh, the reason why they think that this could be an appealing factor for them to watch out for Brown. What could they be looking forward, or be a takeaway that you think would be promising for them?
I guess what I like to say is that you know I think we live in a where world of insecurities, fear, uh, trying to protect what we have, and in that huge misunderstandings with with whoever is trying to, or you feeling the impression of they're gonna try to take something away from you. Yeah. But what happens usually in the fear, in insecurities, in living in future, somewhere uh, we lose out on the truth of our own condition,
True.
and make huge uh, errors and mistakes. Uh, and I think it's just not simply about that. It's about the judgment we make about others in the fear from which we are operating. So I think people should watch it for that.